I have something to tell you, but not the food. And we are here on top of the mountain enjoying our food with Ma'am Jeanette and Mr. Edsel Cortez. Maraming mga taong nawawala as some people alienate themselves and just keep themselves somewhere hidden from from the world. So today, pag-usapan natin mga kapatid, ang depression. Hindi ang puto. At bago tayo ma-carried away sa puto, tapos na tayo mag-last, let's lock and load and bring it on, pre. Let's talk about depression.
Depression na kaagad?
Depression na agad.
Okay, sige. Ang ganda kasi dyan sa depression, friends. The person who is depressed may probably feel, but the process that brought him there, he is totally unaware about. Kasi ang trigger noon, anything can create a trigger. Like, socially, if you are being bullied, and if there is pressure in the working environment, or psychologically, kung anong trauma meron ka, anong experiences ay meron ka lately, including a breakup of relationship. But the bigger share or factor or trigger of that depression is actually, it is a chemical imbalance in the brain brought about by your hormones and your genes, how do you interact. But if you talk about imbalances, which has something to do with neurotransmitters, to begin with serotonin, which actually motivates or is the one processing your sleep patterns and your memory. Or kung sabihin na natin in hormonal imbalance, to simplify that, kaya meron siyang imbalance because the brain, being our own alchemist, will produce our own kind of chemical depending on the kind of thought that our mind actually entertains. So, if you have coping mechanism in the case of bereavement, experience of bereavement, depending on gaano ka na-apektuhan doon, madidepress ka talaga. That being another trigger. Pag nasanay ka na ang wallet mo palagi may pera, and then suddenly wala na siyang laman and you cannot navigate by the end of the month, nakaka-depress din yun. Wala kang trabaho, nagka-pandemic, tapos there's also imbalance in the environment. So that can trigger. And the worst thing about it, when you're already trapped by that feeling of depression, which is actually described as a mental disorder, okay, brought about by all those triggers, the next tendency is to isolate or to feel trapped. And when you decide to begin not seeing friends and relatives, you're already spiraling down in your depression.
That's the worst,
That's the worst
situation.
Okay. And ang mangyayari, pag nandoon ka na sa scenario na yan, it already affects the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you see the world. So, nagiging distorted na ang mga views mo. At yung pagsusuriin pa nga yung entire presentation sa buhay mo, yung expression mo, pati pananalita mo, nag-iiba na eh. Kasi distorted na nga eh. And then because we grow up also with a culture or a belief system na palagi nating pinapahid sa iba yung mga kagawa-gawa natin, palagi na ang iba ngayon ang may kasalanan, hindi na tayo. When actually, may kasabihan na life is what we make it. So, if you study about how we navigate through life based on our thoughts, which gives us the brain chemistry, either it becomes depleted and or deficient or blah 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 that brought us to depression, may sinasabi na what you believe has power over you. Okay? But what your belief has power over you, but what you believe also has, you have power over what you believe. Meaning, pwede kang pumili
May choice ka.
o kung ano ang gusto mong i-entertain na belief. However, dahil naipundar nga yan nung wala pang filter ang mind natin when we're still young, and knowing that it already is part of how you automatically operate, depende na ngayon kung anong belief system ang kinalakihan mo. Kasi may belief system na yung tinatawag na guilt tripping. Okay? Sige, guys. kanang pa-humble effect tapirmi niya dayon pag naipit na tayo sabihin na natin o sige kasalanan ko na nga yan, which has something to do with how you define humility, like allowing yourself to become a doormat. Kainin ka lang talaga dyan sa depression, and that is very far from reality. And because that is the kind of thought and mindset that you entertain in your brain, that being very disempowering thought and belief, it leads to the production of that hormone that brings imbalance, and it disempowers you without you knowing na depressed ka na nga. So pag nagiging depressed ka na ngayon, nagiging abnormal na halos lahat sa buhay. Your social function, the way you treat others, the way you see the world, including the way you see yourself.
Distorted na.
Distorted.
So what do you think is the best thing that a depressed person can do, pre?
Okay. Unang-una, pag ikaw naman ay tinamaan ng depression na yan, hindi mo alam kung paano lumabas dun eh. Kaya I'm glad na ginawan mo ng concerns itong mga bagay na ito. Because
Correct.
unang-una, may alam ako, sa binabasa ko na, if you are so concerned for others who are depressed, you will be the instrumentation para may haon mo sila doon.
Yes.
Okay, so from the information that we share now, and if you can apply this, because that developed empathy on you for the people who are being attacked by depression, you can disseminate proper information and guidance. Because practically, if you put it in one single term, yung depression, nagiging numb lang yung lahat ng senses mo eh.
So true.
You cannot hear, you cannot see properly, all those concerns, hindi na. And so, kailangan niya ng right approach from a person who can empathize what they are feeling about. Because if depression brought you into isolation, and before isolation, there's this disempowering activity in you, and walang ka ng motivation, simple ang formula. To bring you back to more normal is to motivate them. And then, you can only motivate them if you can empathize and get to know the trigger, bigyan mo sila ng pamamaraan to get them back into action. Because if they are not put into normal activities and action, they will remain in a state of depression.
So there must be smart moves.
Oh yeah, but then you can never offer that if you are never aware also what this thing is all about, is depression, because chances are you get carried away by their feelings. The moment they reveal to you the situation they are in, instead of you helping them, pati pa nga ikaw nadadala eh. Nadya-depress ka pa, so dalawa na kayo.
That's my desire, pre. When 2023 enter, gusto ko, I want to murder, I want to kill. Not people.
Okay.
But I want to kill the dysfunctions sa homes, organizations. I want to kill, pati na yan, depression.
Yeah, this is very important, no? And because lahat naman tinatamaan eh. There is never a guarantee that even the righteous, even God's people, hindi tamaan yan. Dahil sa Bible na lang, take the classic case of Elijah. In fact, hindi nga siya naka-experience ng death dahil he was translated to heaven. But before his translation, heavy yung depression niya, yung pinagdaanan niya. And if you look at the Bible in 1 Kings chapter 19, you will see the expression or the characteristic or the mood and the attitude, including the lingo, how he presents himself before God, reflective of how depression affects the entire being of the person in the experience of Elijah. Kasi wala na nga, detached ka na sa reality, gumagawa-gawa ka na ng sariling kwento mo based on how you perceive the world.
Correct.
Okay? And the good thing about God, that even if He empathized so much because He is our Creator, He never even chided Elijah at the worst of his depression experience, but He just provided rest and comfort and food for him to continue to move on, so as to meet him at the point of revelation, which was in Mount or Cave Macpela.
So that made him navigate.
Oh yeah, because when you are depressed, you are tired, you are very disempowered, you need motivation, all of that, but no amount of verbal motivation can help you there without nourishing you with your dire need, which is food and water and rest.
If there is a word, pray, that you can say straight to the heart and to the eyes of that person listening right now, Ano kaya yun?
Nasasabihin para mamulat lang sila?
Yes.
Well, yung kanilang distortion, yung kanilang ganito yan eh. Like an iceberg. Okay, ganito yan eh. Ang ating internal reality kasi, how we see the world, is actually a reflection of how we think. Which, kung sa iceberg yan, 10% lang yung nakikita. Dahil yung mga nangyayari na hindi nakikita, 90% nakasubmerge. That is our thought. So we have to help them actually align what they are thinking about, because there's big tendency that the thoughts they entertain are already very far from what is real.
So the person who is going through this depression should not go through it alone.
That's the worst that he would ever have to choose on. He doesn't need to be alone. He has to be with someone who he cannot only openly reveal, but someone who can empathize.
So magjo-journey sa kanya.
Of course, because the very emotion that is needed by a person who is depressed is empathy. Someone who can put their shoes in them. Diba?
So that's the word from our guru today, Mr. Edsel Cortez. And Ma'am Jeanette, kung may gusto kong sabihin to somebody who is depressed right now and probably watching this video right now, ano kaya yun?
Okay, just enjoy life, chill lang.
Ito yung mga kasama kong lagi nag-chill. Minsan naging depressed, pero because they believe that there's God, a powerful God, God who will help you navigate. Ito, chill. Thank you very much.